Creators, welcome to DaVinci Resolve 20 over 40 in 30 day 6. I got some cool stuff I want to show you today, and we're going to dive in. Before we do that, let me open up DaVinci Resolve real quick so that we can get started. I want to bring up yesterday's project where we were showing you how to use the cut page in order to edit without making too many weird clips. Now, what I will need from this is I want to show you how to do subtitles. Now, of course, I'm using DaVinci Resolve Studio, and Studio has the ability to create subtitles automatically, and that makes this process a little simpler. I realize a whole bunch of people watching this are going to be using the free version of DaVinci, and the free version doesn't allow that to work. In my humble opinion, I'm not trying to make you spend loot, but the Studio version, the transcription is worth it alone, because by the time you pay for some other transcription apps and you do it a bunch of times, it's going to come out close to the same. Anyway, let's pop back in real quick and I want to show you. So here is our file that we created yesterday. Let's play a little bit. That little stuttering is coming from the fact that I'm recording at the same time we're doing this. But this is my file. So I'm going to just jump back to the beginning. There's a shortcut key for that. But before we do this, we need just the audio. So we're going to click on Fairlight, and this is a whole brand new page for us. We're going to ignore the second clip. We're just going to click on the first clip here, and we're going to say export audio files. Okay. And then I'm going to put this on the desktop real quick just so we can get it done. And then leave the clip name is there. And the format, just use a regular WAV file just to make sure that this works the way I want it to work, and all of that is good. And we don't need to worry about normalization in this particular situation for now, but that's it. We're just going to go ahead and say export. And so that's going to take this audio file and write it to the desktop for us. Okay, so let that do that thing, and you'll see why we're doing this in just a second. Now, on my computer, I have something known as Mac Whisper. So let me open that real quick. And I can use Mac Whisper to take that audio file, which is done. Let's move DaVinci for a second. I can take Mac Whisper and have it create a subtitle out of that file. So basically what I would do is take this file and drop it in here, and it will create a transcript for me. Right now, if for some reason you don't have Mac Whisper, another tool that I use all the time is Auphonic. So let's go to Auphonic real quick. And what I'll do is drag that same file over to, actually, let me make sure we're pulling the right one. I'll grab the Auphonic, I'll drop it over here. And then I don't really need to mess with that. I'm just going to press upload and edit. And it's going to go ahead and upload this file for me. There's other tools that you can use to create this SRT. As a matter of fact, I think Gemini Audio AI Studio on Google can generate that for you as well. But all I want to do is come down here and go to speech recognition. And then I want to use Whisper because Whisper is the guy. And I want to use the SRT file. And I don't really care about any of the rest of these things for right now. My main thing is just to get this SRT file. So let's turn off the leveling. I don't want it to process anything. I really just want it to grab the SRT file. So we're going to turn off all the audio algorithms. So the only thing that's really coming out of here is the SRT file, and go ahead and say start production. You can get 2 hours a month for free with Auphonic. You don't need to have the paid program. I just happen to have the paid program because I use Auphonic all the time. And I would tell you it's well worth it for getting your stuff to just sound phenomenal inside of any type of audio edit. So it's doing a speech rec right now. It's a short file, so it should be relatively quick. There we go. So what I want to do is grab the subtitle file and just press download. And that's going to come down to my downloads folder. And just to make this easier, we're going to put this on the desktop so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so let's go back into DaVinci. Let's pop this up real quick, bring up DaVinci, go back to the cut page. Now, what we're going to do is in the cut page under the file menu, we're going to go down to where it says import. Let's embiggen that. And we're going to say import subtitle. That's going to bring up a dialog box, and I'm going to click on this SRT file that we imported, and I'm going to say, boom, there's that. So here's the SRT file, And all I'm going to do is drag this down to the timeline. And then let's make it turn on. And there you'll see, I did this before, so I have a style on mine. Yours will not come in styled, but that's it. Low. Really weird that my audio is tripping, but whether it's your headphone or your camera or your regular phone, or even nowadays, so that works. You see that you can bring in a subtitle and have it look, proper swank. Let me click this real quick and see if I can delete this track. So even in the free version, if you don't have a fancy, version of Studio, you can bring in your subtitles. Batteries need batteries. We are always looking. Right now, you're going to have to do some size changing in that. So what you do is click on the track and come over here and bring the size down so that it fits. It's not as swanky, but it does work. One next thing you could do is come over here into titles, and you can get this word highlight, and we're going to drag this on to that. Now that restyles everything, right? But let's go to track real quick. Let's bring the size back down. I'm not going to bother adjusting the font to my font, but if we play, low battery. Everybody hates to get that warning, low battery, whether it's your head. I don't know what it did. It added something here to my overhead shot and moved it out of position, but don't worry. I can, sync that back in position, move this wherever it goes. I don't know why it's tripping. For right now, I'm going to delete that just to kill confusion. 3 USB A's. This guy comes in at 11 ounces. So you can make this as cute as you want by selecting these over here, coming over to track and messing with these adjustments, like turning this guy to white if you want white fonts, and, selecting the font that is your, oh my God, that color thing drives me nuts that you have to turn it off. Hold on, it's doing a backup real quick. All right. So you could embiggen this, pick whatever font you want, go into like a bold. One of the other things that you could do is tell it to write the words on. I don't really like that. You can mess with all of these to make these changes. Now that is because, again, you're using the free version. So you're going to have to come in here and play around with this in order to get that to work, but it will absolutely work. We don't need to mess with that. All right. So you can go and do it. Now let's go ahead and delete this subtitle track real quick. Let's delete that. And just for SNGs, or I won't say it on this stream, I will show you what it does when you use the thing that's built into DaVinci. So over here on the side, if I embiggen this real quick, this is your action guy. So if I click on there, I can say create subtitles from audio, and DaVinci brings this guy up. And the thing that makes it different is, well, number one, you can select different. I'm gonna leave it on English, and I'll leave the subtitle the font, or you can have your own presets that you can make up in here, I believe. But I'm telling it to put it on single line or double line. And this is why this is a little bit different from doing it using, say, a free SRT import. But let's go ahead and let that create. And it's going to take a second to think. And it's going to use AI that they have built in order to create these subtitles. Everything else would be basically the same as far as styling it up and making it look the way you want, putting that text animation on. That's all the same. But again, I believe, just from playing with this all day, that the built-in, thing that comes with DaVinci Studio, the built-in subtitle creator that comes with DaVinci Studio, is just a lot better. Low battery. Everybody hates to get that warning, low battery, whether it's your headphone or your camera or your regular phone, right? And again, you just select the track level. And when you're here, you can do the individual track. So you're looking in here for things that, you might want to fix. So I'm pretty sure when I click on this, anchor is spelled wrong. So I'm going to go ANKER to make that correct. And then we're going to call that a day. You can click the next button to go to the next one. So you can quickly scrub through here looking for these typos. But if you select the whole track and you click on track level, you can come in again and make this pretty as you want. So I can hit Mont, which is my font, right? I can adjust the color and adjust the size. I don't really want to do any stroke adding. I can add a background here so that it's easier to see. Oh, Are you on the track level? Why are you locked? All right. Somehow I locked it. Don't know how I did that. I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to go ahead and select my color. And this time I will remember to turn off this dang checkbox. And then you can adjust, like, you know, sort of how big that box looks, add different corner radius, right? I could add a drop shadow if I wished. I can even adjust the opacity of that box so it's a little bit stronger. And yeah, you could do a lot, including come in here and make it all caps or all lowercase or small caps, right? Things like that you can play with. So it's a little bit more powerful, and it breaks it down into easier chunks. So if I needed to fix a place where, you know, a title started to talk before I actually started talking, I could actually trim them out here as well. So that's titling, and that's something that I wanted you to see. Now, the other thing that you could do is click onto the track here, click on audio, and under audio in the free version, you will have this dialogue leveler. The suggestions is that you select it to optimize moderate levels, and then you adjust the gain accordingly. If you check the default settings, it normally comes in at about 2. When I played this back, the same size and weight of a MacBook charger, but it has more than one ports and weight. It's a little bit low. It's not quite hitting the 10. So -9 is the answer. I kind of cranked it up to about 4, and that was a little bit better. Power. That is the 112 watt Anchor 3-in-1. Again, that guy is, there's that. Now I'll turn this off because it's doing that on the real time while you're playing around. You might want to do this as one of the last settings, depending on your computer. If you're doing it in real time while you're playing around, it will probably slow your computer down. So just save that for the end. But here's where I would tell you to mess with this. Take your track, jump over to Fairlight, and then click on the track here. And you can come down to, actually, we can do this from the edit page. I'm sorry, take that back. Come down here, click on this guy, right click on it, and then go to normalize audio levels. There we go. There's my box. I'm going to select this for YouTube. Now, normally you're normalizing it for True Peak, and you could put whatever your target level is. And again, I think -9 is probably the best option for most folks, but we know we're putting this on YouTube. And you want it to sound like all the other videos on YouTube. So click on this and scroll down to where it says YouTube and just let it do its thing. And then go ahead and press normalize from there. So that's going to give you a much better output. Also, when you jump to the delivery page, same thing. Let's pop over here and get this embigged up a little bit. If we're ready to output our file, when you're here, you got your regular video section, then there's the audio section. But when you come down to the audio section, there is this area that says normalize audio. Make sure you turn the little caret down so you can see what you're doing. Check the normalize audio box, hit optimize for standard, and select YouTube at the bottom. Don't press Disney Plus, press YouTube. And then when you save your files, it will make the track the right levels for YouTube. I'm still going to always process mine with Auphonic, but that will get you there a lot quicker. Now, one last thing we'll do, let's cut back over to the cut page, is we're going to select the tools icon smack dead here in the middle here. There's a tools icon. So you're going to select that. And I showed you before where you could come to color and select on auto color. It looks okay. I'm not a super fan of it, but if you want to get something a little bit more, I don't know, finessed, circle that back to center. So make sure that's there. You can turn that auto color part off. Click on the color tab real quick. And yes, this is where everybody panics inside DaVinci because this is where the crazy stuff happens. But all you need to know is down here in the bottom, above the color wheels, there is a little Avengers A, and that's auto balance. So if we press that, it balances your color out and it looks a little bit more clean, but you don't have to go crazy with that and don't kind of like, you know, weird yourself out trying to get it, trying to get it perfect. Also down here next to the Avengers logo, there is the auto white balance, I believe. If you press that, you come out, you find something that's supposed to be white, and then that will give you an auto white balance. My camera's already white balance, so you didn't see anything happen, but those are two things that you can do inside of DaVinci Resolve. Why do you zoom in? Okay, gang, that ties it up today and wraps up DaVinci Resolve 20/40 in 30 day 6. Now we can slide over to the edit page. So come back tomorrow and we'll get over to the edit page. And you know what I say, I don't know who need to hear this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. I am purposely, methodically going slow. And yes, it's a little raw. I'm sorry about that. I'm learning this as you're learning it, but I think that makes it easier. The reason why I wanted to stick so hard in the cut page in the beginning is at least you can output videos while you're working, while you're learning the more complicated stuff, while you're learning color correcting, while you're learning how to sweeten your audio and all the other things that DaVinci can do. You can already be still putting out content. And I think one thing that holds people up is people say, well, I'm going to do this when I learn X. It doesn't work like that. Like if you do it while you're doing it, I think you'll do much better. So use the cut page to at least get your shorts and reels out so you're still putting out content while you're learning how to use the program. And then, yeah, one day all of this will be smooth and it'll be better. I'll go back and reteach all of this stuff like I know what the heck I'm talking about instead of like I'm just pressing buttons. Let me know if you have any suggestions, comments, or feedback in the comment section below. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video I think you should watch, and I agree with them.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet.